Next tour stop, Berlin. Super excited, one of my favorite cities in the world, let alone Europe. It'll be a good little meeting, hosted by these great people.
We will have a great time today. And crypto networking is key, and we are really looking forward to the event.
All right, Berlin. Woo! We made it. We made it, guys, we made it. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, I keep on saying I was just a guy in DC doing live streams, and now we're on this Crypto World Tour, and getting this welcoming reception everywhere we go is just amazing. So thank you guys for being here, and just thank you for being in crypto. You guys have helped change my life, and hopefully I've changed your life in some way, shape, or form. And with that being said, let's start the show. All right, so we have the pleasure of being joined by our sponsor, based here in Berlin. And funny story, I met this guy at my meetup in Pattaya, Thailand. All right, I met him there. I called him the Wabi guy because he's one of the few people, one of the few ICO analysts who was also in Wabi pre-ICO. Right? Then he said, hey, you know what? Come to Berlin and we'll put together a great event. And you know what? Here we are. Right, so I want to give a warm welcome to Chris of MMCrypto and Anoop.
Thanks. Test. So yeah, thanks for everyone joining this event, and especially for everyone who traveled here to get here. I mean, we have one guy from Slovenia getting a flight to this place here, some guys from Switzerland and so on, so we all really appreciate that. Also, big shout out to Kero and Anoop, the co-founders of MMCrypto. Maybe don't be shy, guys. So thank you very much. And especially also very big shout out to Ian and his crypto family. I mean, we had also a great time yesterday. Very great, guys. It's a big pleasure for us to be sponsor for this event. So yeah, I mean, in crypto, networking is key. Enjoy the event, and yeah, looking forward to network with everyone afterwards. So thanks, and now Drew will come, How to Rap Drew, the one and only, and he will introduce Ian and do some other funny stuff with you guys. So.
All right. Hello, Berlin. How are you guys doing tonight? All right, I'm going to come down and get with the people. Berlin, Germany, love you guys. My friend, a great leader in the space, and a good guy. Ian Balina, everybody. Give some hands.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you for the intro. Can you guys hear me in the back with this mic? All right. Berlin. Amazing. Is the word Guten Tag? Yes? I still know some German from middle school. All right, so I want to make this event really as valuable as possible. Right? So let's get the other mic and just kind of have you guys tell me, what do you guys want to gain from this event to really maximize your ROI? Whether you came from the block down the street, or you came from Los Angeles or Mexico or wherever, I want to make sure you guys get value from this. Right? Whether it's my secret ICO of the month or whatever. Right? So let's get a mic. And all right, so who wants to volunteer? Somebody over here? Okay. What would you like to gain out of this event?
Yeah, the secret for the new ICO.
Secret for the new ICO. All right. That was quick. Straight to the point. Okay.
For me, it would be just great to stay in touch with you and have some contact.
Stay in touch? Okay, yeah. All right. We'll become BFFs. All right.
To get some Sparkster allocation?
Oh. I cannot guarantee. All right.
I was in Amsterdam, so I'm not going to ask which will be the top ICO of the month or the quarter, so I know that already. What would be interesting for me is like to see more your point of view on what's going to happen in the grand scheme of things, like the macros that driving maybe the next big blockchain. There's a lot of competitors who want to replace Ethereum. So what do you think about that? Where the things are moving towards?
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the same thing. All right. Anybody else?
I'm here just to make a selfie with you
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now. Let's knock one thing off. To the moon. One more just in case.
To the moon.
To the moon, guys. To the moon. 100x. All right. All right. Somebody over here.
That will be great to hear the code names of ICOs which you are putting in the list. First of things. Secondly, when you are doing this tour, that will be great to make maybe secret society, like people who came to these conferences.
Don't worry, we are doing that.
And
That's one gem. We do have a secret society for people who actually show up to the meetups.
Okay, yes, and maybe to share with them.
Right, so I'll just say right now, so anybody who comes here to the meetup, at the end of the meetup, we'll create a Telegram group just for people here at the meetup.
That's
right,
awesome.
so you guys can have a private community here in crypto with people in person, right? Now, mind you, I won't be posting in it much, right? So you guys will have to drive the conversation, right? But yeah, we'll have a private crypto group just for people here.
Wow.
And we'll send that out as an email after the event is over, by tomorrow.
Excellent.
All right, we have some people here.
Thanks. I would like to learn more about the token matrix, because sometimes I have some ICOs, they have good team, the project may not be good, but the token supply may play an issue when you invest for the ICO, how much they have in sales.
So kind of an overview on token
yeah.
metrics.
I would like to learn more about that.
All right, we can do that. Anybody else? Okay.
Do you think the Sparkster can do 100x?
Oh. Not this year. I think it's, in my opinion, 10x. 100x? I mean, anything is possible, but I would not expect it, not this year.
I would like to know from you what you think will be the most important factors for new money to come into the space.
To get into crypto?
Yeah, like
Okay.
equity tokens, for example.
So equity tokens? I think it's still early for equity tokens, but we can get into that. Just so everybody here who has questions, make sure to ask them during the AMA. All right, and this is the last one here in the back. Want to make sure we get to everybody.
I'm going to be in a meeting next week, and it might come up if I'm interested in being an advisor. Can I have some advice?
Yes, yeah, on how to be an advisor.
I'm closing the deal.
Closing the deal. I'll teach you how to close the deal. I mean, so for those who saw me at the Amsterdam event, I think there's a guy here, right? And those who haven't been following me, I'm now officially an advisor for Phantasma Protocol, one of the ICOs that pitched at our event. And we have some more in the works and some other big news to share. But anyway, so thank you guys for sharing that. Hopefully we can get all that knocked out and offer as much value as possible. All right, so next up is, who is Ian Balina? Who's this guy up here with the mic? Why is he in Berlin? Why is there a crowd here to see him? All right, so quick show of hands. Who's never watched any of my content or that doesn't know who I am, is just here because a friend said to come here? Okay, a few people. All right, so this is for you. I'll give you a quick summary on who I am. Right, so I'm Ian Balina. I'm a full-time blockchain angel investor. I've done over 60 ICOs in the last 12 months. Right, that's basically what, 4 or 5 ICOs a month. Right, this is my full-time job. I quit my job at IBM. Great job. I was there for 4 years, working as a sales engineer for IBM Watson Analytics, and after that, I was working as an open source analytics sales executive, covering all of North America. Right, so I was working with data. And prior to that, I was working as an IT consultant at Deloitte. Right? And I gave all that up to go into crypto full time. I've also become a ICO influencer, is the term now, in the last 1 year. I've only been in the space for about 1.5 years. Who's heard of the Ian Balina effect? Who's benefited from the Ian Balina effect? Who's been a victim of the Ian Balina effect? Well, the reason it's called the Ian Balina effect is I have a huge following, starting with YouTube, right? Over 120,000 subscribers on YouTube, 140,000 real Twitter followers on Twitter, and a private ICO Telegram group with over 29,000 people, where I share my private alerts on ICOs. I just kind of want to share with the world how token metrics has really helped me make better ICO investments, right? And just kind of help other people, whether they have other goals, but just really evangelizing the system and try to open source this and make it as free as possible, right? I'm all about open source content, free content, so that's what I'm trying to do. And that's why we're here on this Crypto World Tour. But it's also a way to just really meet the community and just say thank you, right? Because during this whole whirlwind journey in the last 1 year, I mean, I was just a guy doing live streams and doing the spreadsheet analysis. I didn't really get a chance to meet people behind the screen who are watching my content. Right? So now being able to come here and meet the people face to face and hear the stories is just a wonderful thing. All right. Here, let's just have a quick 5-minute break. The two ICOs that are going to pitch, please come here in the corner, and then we'll start. All right? Is it going to pop?
No, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Open it up. It's not an engagement. Don't worry.
To the moon! Oh,
man. Fight the haters, man.
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let me put this on. To the moon. All right. So prior to starting, I want to share an amazing story somebody just told me here on the stage. The guy who gave me the To the Moon ring. Do you want to share it? We can have you share it, if you don't mind.
Hello? Okay, so, hi, my name is Piotr. I'm from Poland, Poznań. And I shared with Ian my story and my friend's story. We are following Ian from like September last year. Yeah, somewhere around September. And I personally invested like $500. Not a lot of money. I remember investing, I was in Greece for my vacation with my girlfriend and my friend, and I was investing $100 in Power Ledger. And right now I have over $30,000, so thank you, Ian. That's I think that's nice. Thank you. And it's like 90% of my investments were Ian, Balina's investments. I invested in OneChain. My future father-in-law invested in OneChain. I invested in Wabi. What else? Power Ledger and few other. A month ago or 1.5 months ago, I invested $2,000 in Loom Network. It was one of my biggest investments, and I have over $10,000 in Loom Network right now. I'm still holding it because you said it's one of the best projects this year. Yeah. Loom Network is going to be huge. And one of my friends, he couldn't be here today because he's sick actually, but he really wanted to be here. He started 1 year ago, 12 months ago, with $2,000 on his bank account. That was all of his money. And right now he has over $200,000. He has like almost $300,000. So I think that's a lot of money. And I'm also going to have this amount, I hope, Ian. And yeah, that's it. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Like, I really appreciate it because you can. It's possible to change the life. Thank you, man. Thank you. Really, thank you.
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. So that's why I love traveling around the world and just hearing stories like this, all right? Because we're trying to just impact lives and do it all for free, open source, build a community, and just help people gain financial freedom. Right? I've done it. It's amazing hearing other people now achieving it or getting close to achieving it. It's a beautiful thing. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that story. All right. So now we have two ICOs. Now I'll preface this by saying, if you're here, this could be one of the most valuable moments of the entire event, because we discovered ICOs like Interchain from my meetups, my talk in Korea. In South Korea, in Seoul, South Korea. I discovered Nucleus Vision in Los Angeles at an event like this. And we also recently discovered Sparkster, which is now, in my opinion, a Hall of Fame ICO and is blowing up. Right? But people who were at the event, the meetup, they were the first to see the demo and the presentation. Well, not the demo, the video and the presentation, and get the inside scoop. So they're already on the whitelist. Now, the question is, will we have a repeat session? Will we find the next one here? the next Ian Balina effect, will it come from here? All right, so how does this work? So we have 2 ICOs today pitching, right? They'll get 3 minutes to pitch, right? 3 minutes, just microphone, tell us your project, what it is. Then we'll have you guys decide. It will be a vote by the people, decentralized, okay? Based on whoever makes the most noise for the ICO they like the most, based on the pitch. And the winning ICO will get 5 minutes to pitch. And if you have a website or if you have something quick you want to show, a video or even a slide, if you happen to have it online or just on a USB drive, we can show that as well, right? All right, are you guys ready? Yep. All right, okay. Hold on, just give me 1 minute. As we're doing that, let's have the first one come up on stage. Let's have Porter.
I will need less than 3 minutes for sure, because the project should be easier to understand, and I try to do my best with a quick time.
Okay, sorry, what did you say?
I wanted to say that when I pitched before, I used to do it in 1 minute, so something that I have in my brain should be shorter.
Well, we can ask you questions in the next 3 minutes then.
Of course.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, Allsporter is primarily focused on building the first marketplace for sport trainers, sport enthusiasts, and sport equipment rentals. We believe that current sport market is owned by business players. They are taking up to 70% of each training, and it shouldn't be like this. So Allsporter platform, it's totally free. The trainers will not have a commission, and the cost of training will drop down very, very, very easily. Our product, it's already live. You can find it on App Store or on website. We built it in December 2017. And since then, we achieved some business goals. We have 40,000 of customers and 5,000 of trainers, and more than 500 of equipment, sport equipment. So Allsporter want to be decentralized with use of our utility token, which is called Allsporter Coin. Allsporter Coin will be based on paying, earning, and rewarding all our customers in our platform. Trainers will earn with our coin. The people will pay with our coin, and they will be rewarded for all their activities that they will do on our platform. Now, our project is just before ICO, and it will start in 7th of August. But to the point that we are now, we've been backed by Inastico Investment with $500,000. And
how much are you guys raising?
We are raising, our soft cap is 2.8 million, and our hard cap is over 10 million.
10 million you raising?
Yeah, over $10 million.
Can you tell us about the team?
Sorry?
The team?
Yeah, our team.
Any all-stars on the team?
Yeah, our team. Our CEO is windsurfing champion, worldwide champion in 2017, but he's also an entrepreneur. He already built one company which is now over $30 million worth. In our core team, we also have a programmer who was building Spotify. We have guys from Uber. And in our advisory team, we have Simon Cocking, Jason Hang, and Karol Sadaj, who is from Revolt. And me, myself, I was working in Rocket Internet in Berlin 1 year ago.
Why should people do more homework on this project?
What do you mean?
Give them a compelling reason why they should do more homework.
Like, based on this, we want with Allsporter, we want to build a big sports community, and with this community, we want to have best deals from players like Nike or other companies that will be giving rewards and better prices for their stuff.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, so up next is Interchain. Sounds like a blockchain.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give you the stage. Yeah, okay. I'll be over here. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, my name is Arne Reimann. I'm the founder and CEO of Interchain. Interchain is the world's first process mining engine with an integrated blockchain for intra-group accounting. So it's basically an accounting software. We are a team working together for 3 years now, mostly on the process mining part. Before that, we worked for old economy companies like BMW, Siemens, Allianz. And
the company or the employees?
The company.
The company?
Yeah. And yeah, so right now we started our private sale. Yeah, we have a soft cap of $3 million and a hard cap of $26 million. And our software is already in use, also at customers. So we already earn money with it. And yeah, now we're looking for the ICO. We're looking for the investment to invest.
Now you guys are a protocol, accounting protocol, or you're a DApp?
We use a ERC20,
Ethereum
private
token.
blockchain. Yeah, we have the process mining engine. From the process mining engine, we generate smart contracts that get into the accounting blockchain, and from the accounting blockchain, we send the data through APIs to the.
And the product is already live. There's a prototype.
Yes. Sorry, the process mining engine is already.
Can you tell us which all-stars you have on the team?
Yeah, we have me.
Done.
So actually, I had a similar story like you. I was working for KPMG and Siemens, and I
okay, very nice, all-star.
Yeah. So we started our company for the process mining.
Anybody else? Can you go through the other team members?
Yeah, we have coders who worked for Allianz for meta finance, so finance coding. We have our CFO was 30 years at Siemens, so he's a senior, really senior with a lot of experience. And our marketing officer, he worked at Germany's biggest advertising companies like Serviceplan and BBDO. Yeah.
So give us, why should people do more homework on this company?
Sorry?
Why should people do more homework? Give them something compelling for them to make.
Yeah, if you want to know why like big consulting firms like Deloitte and Ernst & Young want to work with us, then yeah, give me your hand.
All right. Thank you. All right. So get your vocal cords ready. We're about to scream. All right. Are you guys ready? Hey. The ICOs. Actually, let's have you both come up on here on stage again. Allsporter and Interchain, come back here. Thank you so much for coming and pitching. Unfortunately, we can only have one winner. All right. So we'll let the audience decide. All right. So if you like Allsporter, make some noise. All right. Interchain? Oh, okay. Allsporter, thank you so much for being a good sport. And Interchain, you have moved on to the next round and the final round. So we'll actually.
I lost my mic.
Oh yeah. So now we're gonna interrogate you.
Yeah.
We'll give you 10 minutes because we didn't have as many ICOs here pitching as we typically do. So let me just. So we're gonna have him present basically his webpage. They have a video they want to walk us through. So let me just get my timer ready here. And let's see if we find the next hot ICO. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready, yeah.
And go.
Well, let's start with the video to go more into the problem. we're solving.
For large enterprises, it is difficult to keep track of their businesses these days. In order to optimize performance, the CFO must have a clear picture of company spendings and their accurate bookings. Unfortunately, it is very complicated to monitor services and transactions between subsidiaries. The process mining engine automatically captures relevant technical data and uploads it directly into the blockchain, following smart contracts, execute intragroup billing, and booking fully automated. Because all subsidiaries are connected to the blockchain, all booking data is always identical and up to date. This also simplifies cross-border intercompany payments and ensures fully reconciled data as needed by the authorities. No more exchange rate differences, no more black boxes, no more incorrect postings. Instead, always consistent data, transparent and traceable intercompany transactions, and significant cost savings. The CFO can now provide the CEO, shareholders, and the supervisory authorities with accurate financial data. Simply, everyone benefits. Let's keep track of your business as well.
All right, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
All right, so can you, anybody here, if you have any questions, just raise your hand that you would like to ask them. Anybody here with a question to start? All right, let me give you guys a mic. Oh, by the way, this is Willem, who's part of my Patreon for a while. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you again.
Thank you. I have a question. What is the main difference between your business proposition and that of SAP?
The big difference is, I mean, what we offer, SAP and Oracle try to offer, but it doesn't work. So maybe for all the others, our target customers are like the biggest companies of the world, which are huge groups with lots of subsidiary companies. So we normally have like one Siemens group and then like 400, 500 sub-Siemens groups, and they have a lot of transactions in between. And due to manual error caused by SAP and Oracle systems, the reconciliation process takes a lot of time, and therefore they're losing millions of dollars every year. So we do what SAP and Oracle promises to do.
Thank you. How have you financed your company so far?
So far we $500,000 of our own equity during the last 3 years, and now we have one investor who invested €150,000.
So why should I invest in your token? Because if I create the ecosystem and this token is used in the ecosystem, you could hope that the price is going to increase, but usually, I mean, it's not actually doing this most of the time. And if there's a need, or if the token is mandatory to use a system, from my point of view, when I'm a big company, I would never use your system, because there's a big risk for me to buy tokens in advance, for example, and I don't never know how the token will move. So why should I invest in this token as a company and as an investor? And for the third point, I mean, this token will just be used by some special firms, so why should I, as a customer, buy your token if the token is just interesting for enterprises?
Well, actually, we have two products, like Interchain Enterprise and Interchain Personal. So there's also like the process mining engine. It's something everybody can use. It's something that tracks what you're doing. Like with this engine, you know, okay, I spent I don't know, 9 minutes in this email or 10 hours on Facebook, and you know exactly how much time you spend on what on your PC. So it's actually, even a student could use it to track, you know, how much time am I spending on my master thesis or something like that. This one part of the software. For the other part of your question, why enterprises? I mean, if the solution is good and we know it's good and it will solve a lot of problems and it will have a lot of cost reduction, I think they will use it anyway. Yeah.
All right, I have a question.
Yeah.
Why 26 million? That's a ton of money.
Because we're in the B2B software market and competing with like SAP and Oracle. So you need.
No, I mean, because you said you built all this. Right now it's working, right? You've built all of this and it's working?
Yes.
And you've only spent how much in equity?
Sorry?
How much have you spent in equity? How much has it been invested in this company?
$500,000.
So you built all this for $500,000.
Yes.
Now you want 26 million? What's that going to be spent on?
Mostly on sales, actually, and we have to build the APIs. So the APIs from our blockchain rewrite into the accounting systems like SAP and Oracle. And so these APIs are custom-made for each customer. So this will require quite some stuff and money beforehand. Yeah.
You said that you will do business with enterprises.
Yeah.
Can you tell which enterprises maybe? Because that's like the interesting point, which if you have any companies you work with already.
You mean our current customers?
Yeah.
Our current customers are mostly in the advertising sector. And they're using this to track, for example, their IT support. So, like on a big picture, you can say, okay, you have a Siemens company that has like a IT support in China, who provides services all over the world for their subsidiaries. And so it's for the CFO, it's really he has to know how much time and work this IT support spends on which subsidiary company. Right now, he doesn't know. And so with our software, he can track it and then directly make the postings into the right accounting systems. Yeah.
I have two questions. You say that one of the key of your product is to see where your clients are spending time. I mean, where your customers are spending time.
Yeah.
But what is the difference between you and like some companies like Rescue Time, Yawara, which has already been on the market like many years, and they do tracking time records? This is first question. And second question, you mentioned the demo product is ready. Can you show us?
I can right now. I mean, I can show you.
Yes,
Let's start
yes,
with
we could do that. Let's do it live. We are live. Is it online? We can pull it up.
It has to. You have to do
Like
some
login
installation
and
and connection to an accounting system. So it's hard to show live.
Is there a video
but you can,
of it
I mean,
live?
you can.
Is there a video of the product live on YouTube or something, or?
No. It's all B2B sales. Person per person, yeah.
All right. So, what do you guys think?
But I can answer your first question, like Rescue Time and stuff. We are like Rescue Time is for personal use, so it's similar to our to Interchain Personal. But Rescue Time has no APIs. It doesn't focus on B2B, so it's more like tracking yourself and keeping you from staying on Facebook or something like that. But we have a strong B2B focus.
Okay, I mean, first thing I would say is it's very hard to know what you guys do, like in a simple manner.
It's
I mean, like we've been here for 10 minutes, but I still don't know what you do, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm hearing mining. I think like Bitcoin mining. I hear accounting, B2B enterprise.
Yeah. That's the problem with because mining and the Bitcoin in the crypto world.
Right?
That means something else than process mining.
Let's just read this, right? Interchain is the world's first process mining software with integrated blockchain. Compatible with all IT infrastructures, Interchain centralizes and streamlines your intercompany accounting, reducing your costs, increasing your productivity.
Yeah.
So it's basically accounting on a blockchain?
With the process mining
now you're building your own.
Because the big problem is in a perfect world.
We're out of time. But nobody else is pitching, so let's keep on going.
in a perfect world, SAP and Oracle, they would work perfectly, but they demand perfect data entry.
I mean, but hold on, why do you have to mention mining though? I mean, is that needed?
Actually,
just on a blockchain is kind of assumed is either a staking or mining.
Well, in the B2B world, process mining means something else. Like the mining has a different meaning than in the crypto world.
Probably not best to use that because people in crypto would think is Bitcoin type mining?
Yeah, yeah.
At least
Yes,
that's what
I
was
get that now.
thinking. Okay.
So the thing is, it's manual data entry that causes all these problems and losing money.
Yeah.
So with our software, instead of having to trust your employees to do the right data entries, the engine tracks automatically what you're doing and puts this data into the accounting software. So you have no manual data entry. And this is what's causing the big problems.
Okay. So this reminds me of a project in the same space last year. I think the one on invoicing on a blockchain.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys know which one that was? It did like a 30x or even more, I think. Populous, yes, Populous. Reminds me of Populous in a way. All right, so anybody who has questions? Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do this 4 questions, then we'll get to the AMA.
There's one thing I can't understand really. For what do you need the token? So what's the use case of the token itself?
The token is used to pay for the process mining engine, so it's like as a service fee, and for the mining of the accounting blockchain. So it's actually, you use it for fees. So the companies, when they pay us in tokens. Some of the tokens will be burned, and the rest comes back to us.
Just to clarify, you've built your own blockchain for this?
No, we use the Ethereum private blockchain.
It's a dApp on a Ethereum.
It's on Ethereum, on a private Ethereum blockchain.
But it's an application on Ethereum blockchain.
Yes.
Okay. I think the Interchain and stuff kind of confuses it, and the mining stuff, because how can a dApp mine? But anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, going back to the earlier question though, 26 million for a dApp is pretty high.
Sorry?
$26 million
yes.
for a dApp is very, very high.
Yeah, well, the thing is, we started because we need a lot of working capital, and because the sales process with the Fortune 500 or a DAX company takes quite some time, and then we are based in euros, so 26 million US dollars becomes like 20 million euros, and yeah, with this kind of money we can start our sales process worldwide. And especially with competitors like SAP and Oracle, you can start slow, but it might be that they just take 50 million and overrun you. So yeah, it's good to have some money to be quick.
Did you say you're in the private sale phase right now?
Yes.
So what's the minimum allocation? What's the maximum allocation? What's the difference between the private sale, the main sale, and bonuses?
We have the private sale is for 300,000 US dollars, and you get a 50% discount. Then we have a pre-sale for 3 million, where you get a discount of 25%, and then we have the public sale.
Yeah, you said 3 million, but it's not a block of 3 million. What are the minimum allocations and the maximum allocations within this 3 million?
The minimum allocation, the minimum ticket size, you mean? Yeah. In the private sale, it's 2,500 US dollar. There's no max.
Yeah. You're trying to buy the whole thing? Go back to him and I'll come back.
I do have a question, but based on what I'm hearing from the others, I want to give you a comment first. I've been in the B2B all my life, more or less, and I think this is fantastic. I think what you're doing, if this weren't blockchain and if you weren't speaking to ICO, guys, if it was a bunch of executives, you'd be talking about a 6-figure check, please, to get us started with your service. And I think they would be very interested. So I suggest to people that are doubtful here, take another look at this. This sounds great. My specific question is, are you going to use some sort of, is it in the roadmap? I wouldn't expect to say you got it right now. Is it in the roadmap that you're going to use some sort of deep learning or other kind of AI analytic to go beyond just transparency? Seems like right now what you're selling is transparency, and that's good. But are you going to take it to the next level and interpret and get smart with it, so to speak?
Yeah, like the ultimate goal, and like what half of our team is working on, is getting this process mining engine even more automatic, so that it can actually also predict what kind of work is done, how long it will take. Because in the end, it's all information for the CFO. So we're definitely working on that. Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? We had somebody over here.
A couple of years ago, 4 years ago, I think, I worked for Salesforce, by the way, all-star company, right? Salesforce.com. Yeah, and I sold software almost like you, just not as a sales engineer. And there was a very innovative, disruptive company called Celonis, and that they exactly positioned it like you. That it's this process mining, exactly the way that you do it, except that you bring in the blockchain part. And I don't understand, like, how do you going to differentiate from them? And then what's the value of the blockchain? If it's only used for payments, for me, it doesn't sound compelling enough to use it as a token.
Yeah, I answer two parts of this question. First, Celonis is more on a meta level process mining, so you can have a look at actual processes. With us, you can see like how much every step of the process actually takes. So we're more have a closer look on the data. And why use the blockchain for accounting? So on our accounting blockchain, all the data that is now distributed, like it's in China on an accounting system and it's in Germany, and it always has differences, and these produce a lot of manual labor. So with us, we have one accounting blockchain as a single source of data. You have an audit trail, like these big companies spend millions on PwC, Deloitte, just for auditing every month and every end of the quarter. So this will reduce also the cost for audit. Yeah. So it's a safe method to store this data, and it has an audit trail, which is really important. Yeah.
So when you are saying that you are giving 50% discount and no individual hard cap, do you have any token lockup for the private sale investors, or?
What's a token lockup?
Token lockup period, so that the tokens cannot
that you can sell it. Yeah.
That you cannot move it, not sell it. Yeah. No OTC, no exchange, nothing for the.
No, there's nothing.
Yeah, because
like that
then probably some other private sale or crowd sale investors might be scared because of the possibility of dumping on the exchange. So whenever 2x occurs and there's a 3 million whale in there, and he has 50% discount 2x for the crowd sale, it would be 4x. So he will flip immediately and crash the whole price. Okay. Because most probably the volume will be also pretty low. Okay. There are no bid orders to cover it.
That's how you end up with a propy. Yeah. All right. So no token lockup at all.
No. We
with a 50% bonus. Wow. Wow. That's that. I would suggest doing that. Otherwise, it's going to be a hard pass. I mean, at least for me. I mean, because as he's mentioned, right? There's basically selling pressure.
I guess because right now we don't have big quests. We have just friends and family in the private sector.
Right, but I mean, if
so we could maybe
if you plan to moon, if you plan to get bigger, right, and have a big ICO and raise 26 million, that's the roadblock, as he was mentioning.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else with a question?
Thanks.
All right. We keep getting more. We got two in the back over here.
One, maybe it's a little bit direct of a question, like why do you do an ICO? It has something, did you try to raise another round of capital in the traditional equity market and weren't able to? Or do you do an ICO because of a different goal or reason?
So the question is why we don't raise venture capital, but we want to do an ICO? No, I mean, we started with our own capital. Then we have one investor, and then we have a blockchain startup. So we're thinking about an ICO because anybody can invest in it, and with big investors, it takes a lot of time, especially to raise this kind of money. So I think ICO is a great way to raise capital. Yes.
All right, so let's go to the next portion of the event, now the AMA. So if you have any questions for me, and we'll also include you as well. So if you have any questions for me or Interchain, just raise your hand and we'll go from there. What? Oh, so now we're going to the official AMA. So if you have any questions in terms of ICOs, token metrics, investing, whatever, feel free to ask those questions to me. And if you have any questions on Interchain, feel free to ask them to Interchain. All right? So it's basically a joint AMA now. All right, who has the first question?
Hello again. My question is, the ICOs are a little bit harder to get right now, especially with Balina effect. And do you have any, how to become independent of ICOs, how to find projects? Do you have any sort of advice how to find projects that are already on exchange? How to make money, like Loom Network, for example, or other projects that weren't even an ICO, maybe they are on the exchange for like a year or 2 years already. Do you know how to find those projects and invest in them?
Okay, good question. I mean, for me personally, I've been doing ICOs, right? But I would say any project you liked that maybe you didn't get into, just observe it post-ICO and try to get it on IDX, which is the new Ether Delta, right? For example, there's a project that sold out, or Loom, for example, right? Good project and only had a private sale only. Those who couldn't get in could still have picked it up around ICO price, right? Because it was a bear market. Good project, but it was a bear market. But it still did well by staying afloat and not going below ICO price. So that was the time to accumulate and then just wait for the bull market as it pumped up, right? So that's one strategy. I think it's just do your homework on projects and then keep an eye on them post-ICO. Don't just go on to the next one. Right? Kind of like have a list of projects you want to go back and see how they're performing on exchanges. Right? So for example, PoonDX. Who here was part of PoonDX? Oh man, a lot of people, all right? PoonDX. If you for some reason missed the PoonDX ICO, right?
25x from the
lowest price? Yeah, you could have bought it like, what, 50% off? Under ICO price, by 50%. Then it ended up doing a 20x or so. All right, incredible. But you got in post ICO? Oh man, amazing. Yeah, so there's one example. That's probably the best example, right? Just find good ICOs, and especially if it's a bear market. It's basically like you can go there and just discount shop. It's like wholesale shopping, right? You find good projects, everybody's selling everything, you just buy the dip. Right? In terms of finding new projects, projects already on exchanges after a year, that's tough. For that, I would mainly rely on roadmap and see if any projects are about to do anything big, and probably look to get in a month or so before. Like for example, people knew EOS was about to finish the ICO and launch the mainnet, right? That's why the last month or so it's been going up. Right? That's one example. Right? Or if you know, hey, this blockchain is about to launch their mainnet and now launch their first dApp, you can get that. For example, Dragon Chain was an example like that, right? When it came out, it was about 5x on Ether Delta. Then they announced their ICOs they'll be having in January. Then it just went to 50x. Because people were buying, expecting that people would have to buy that for the token sale. Right? So that's probably a strategy to think about long term for projects that are already out on exchanges. Just check the roadmap, see if they have anything coming up, and get in, right? But I would say buy the rumor, sell the news. Right? Don't hold until the announcement. Right? Or I would say, well, I'll fix that. Take profits before the announcement. Right? And conferences, always take profits before any conference. People always think a conference will pump the price even more. And I've never seen any conference where it kept on going up, except for PoonDX. And when they announced the OneChain and PoonDX partnership.
what do you think about security tokens and its valuable like in the space? I mean, there are a couple of really interesting projects as well, like Polymath, for example, T0, which could be a key like in the whole cryptocurrency space in the future. What do you think about security tokens?
I think security tokens are the future. Feel free to sit down if you want to grab a chair up there if you want. Yeah. I mean, I think security tokens are the future, but I don't think they're ready yet. I've only done one security token ICO, which was Kairos, and the only reason I did that because it was on an all-star project that had a really good deal, right? 2-for-1 deal, getting both equity and a token, right? So it made sense to basically get free money, right? But the way they ran that token sale, because it was a security token sale, they messed up something in terms of regulation, so they had to cancel it, go back, and redo it. And I didn't like how that process was, how they could mess up something like that. Then also there was bad news about some stuff with the company employees, so I asked for a refund. That was my first crack at it, and I didn't think they handled it well. I know the projects out there like T0s, Polymath, and whatever that are trying to make exchanges, but I think they're being liquid, being able to buy and sell the token is going to be hard, right? Until institutions can actually come in to bring more volume, or until the market makers doing stuff like that for security tokens. But right now, I'm not bullish on it this year, maybe next year, but this year, I'm not really looking much at it. But I mean, I would rather just do equity investing than just equity token, unless it's both equity and getting a token, right? I think that's kind of the value of that, because I know some projects, like I know, what was it? MetalPay, right? Had an equity round where angel investors, right, put in equity and got both equity shares and a token. And MetalPay did what, like 50x or more if you're in the equity round. Right? So things like that are very attractive. Right? So any project like that, I would love to get in, where you're investing equity and then you get the token as like a bonus. Right? So whether equity or token does bad or poor, you know you have the other one as a backup.
My question, Vanilla, is about Go Network. I think you've participated somehow there as an advisor, and I think the token sale is coming soon. You have an opinion about it? And second question, at the beginning you said something about this 29K Telegram group with like a secret announcements for your actual choose. Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with the Telegram group, then I'll talk about Go Network, because I have to pull this up here. So if anybody here, if you're not in my Telegram group, you can just go to ianbalina.com/mastermind. Just go to this link and join my Telegram group. I have two groups. One's a conversation group, and the other is a alerts channel. Right now, I don't post my picks anywhere besides my private Telegram. I like to now post my weekly ICO spreadsheet as a screenshot in there. Right, I'm trying to do it every single week, but that's the only place to get my picks besides YouTube. But by the time it's on YouTube, it's already too late. Right, so if you want to get it early, this is the best place to go, right? ianbalina.com/mastermind. Okay, then Go Network. Go Network was an ICO I was advising. Ended up stepping down as an advisor because to be honest, I think after everything I went through, from the company and just seeing how they were running, and they're basically just lying, right? So I viewed it as very, very shady, and I didn't want that to be tied to my brand, and I felt like they were trying to raise a ton of money. It was basically a money grab. So I just had to step down, right? I don't plan to invest in it, don't plan to touch it. I wouldn't touch it with free money if I had it. Let's just say that. Does that answer your question? Or you wanted something more in depth, or?
A question on two projects, Sentinel Protocol and Phantom Foundation. Your opinion on them?
I passed on both. So Sentinel was it's a good project, really good, but it's not quite an all-star ICO. Phantom seems really, really good, but they're not launching a mainnet until Q3 2019. That's way too far away. I mean, when you buy the token, what's going to happen between then and 2019? Are you going to wait forever? Right? It's like that meme, waiting forever. So unless they have really amazing news, but it's hard to see them having news if they haven't launched a mainnet until 2019 Q3. All right, so what's going to hold the price up besides just it being a blockchain? All right, so that's my take on it. So basically, I don't think they have a prototype. So that's why I'm passing on Phantom.
A lot of investors who started investing in the space last year, like myself, are holding now like several tokens, maybe 10, 20 or more. So what's your take on portfolio management? What is your method?
Yeah, that's a good question. I also have the same problem, right? When you do so many ICOs, you start to get so many different tokens. What I've been trying to work on is just downsizing and trying to limit how many I hold, right? So I think for me, I'm trying to go to under 10, right? So the way I do it is just whatever is underperforming, sell. Or whatever, obviously guys, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, right? Gotta say that disclaimer. But I mean, just look at the project, right? ICON, for example, right? People say, hey, why did Ian sell ICON? Why did he dump ICON on us? I mean, besides the whole thing that was going on, but my whole reasoning was this. I got into ICON pre-sale at 12 cents. It went to $12. I took profits all the way up. It came back down to like, I sold all my ICON besides my locked up bonus tokens, which I still own, around $2 something cents, right? So even selling all that around there was still a 30x. I turned 20 grand to over 600 grand in profits, right? And I told myself, okay, if ICON goes from $2 back to the all-time high, that's only a 6x return, right? And at that time, the strategy, which I didn't fully execute, because one chain surprised us by launching right, on Binance, the strategy was to sell ICON, because I thought, okay, ICON goes back to all-time high, that's a 6x, and get into Loom Network. Because Loom Network was out, it was my biggest investment, and it was still trading around ICO price. So I'm like, holy cow, this is a steal. I was like, what's going to do better? ICON going from 30x to 100x again, that's a 3x, or doing a 6x from there, or Loom going from ICO price, and my target for that was a 50x. So to me, I just felt like, hey, you know what? I can just take this and reinvest this into this project that has more potential right now, because it's at a lower entry price, right? So that's kind of the strategy I have now for other projects. Like, what project has really maximized its potential? And the ROI is not really going to be as high. And what project do you like coming out that hasn't achieved all its potential, right? So if you have a token that's done a 20x or 50x, for me personally, I would take a ton of profits from there and reinvest into those new projects, like maybe a Quirk chain, right? Or if you have any crappy tokens that you don't believe in anymore, right? If I find any project that I lose faith in, whether it's from the management team or it's just not doing well, it's underperforming Bitcoin and Ether, I would just sell everything. If I've been waiting for 2 or 3 months, I would sell everything and put it into a new project, right? So for example, if there's a project that's doing really bad, like, what's doing bad right now? Air token? Let's say it was Air token, right? I would sell all my Air token for Quirk chain any minute, in a heartbeat, for example, right? That's kind of how I downsize my portfolio, right? So maybe you take your worst performing tokens and then reinvest them into something else. Does that answer your question? All right, over here.
Hi, first of all, thank you very much for all the work that you're doing and going to this event and spending your time on us. Thank you on that. You're on the advisory board of Phantasma, as I heard before. The ICO is about to start very soon, so everybody who didn't manage to get on the whitelist, can you help me, for example, with that?
Unfortunately, I cannot, I mean, Phantasma flew from Portugal to our event at Amsterdam to pitch, and they had the gratitude to give all the attendees who attended that event access to the whitelist. Right? Anybody who attended my event in Amsterdam, we got 500 whitelist spots. All those are filled out, but this is something I want to keep on going. Right? So as we get more projects to come and pitch here, we can give them opportunities, right? So maybe Interchain could have something similar and give anybody here who wants to participate a guarantee to be on the whitelist, if possible. No pressure, no pressure. All right, but yeah, I mean, Phantasma, unfortunately I can't, right? I'm not the CEO, right? And I think they've already filled up everything, so it's not really possible, right?
Hi. What demos of Sparks have you seen? The demo of the platform or of the blockchain? Oh, okay.
Yes, so Sparkster has basically two products or two demos. Right. The first one is a demo of their IDE. They're basically dApp for developing dApps on. Right. We saw a demo of that the first time after the meetup. The next day we met them for an hour or so, got a chance to ask them questions via the demo of how they can basically build a dApp. Then a few days later, they showed us a demo of the actual blockchain, right? In terms of the blockchain explorer, how fast it was going. I mean, their claims that it goes 10 million TPS is absurd. I can definitely agree with that. Their reasoning is that their cells or nodes can do 1,000 transactions per second, and they scale, right? It's a linear scaling, right? So if you just get more nodes, it should just be faster, right? So their reasoning is if you just, theoretically, if you had a supercomputer like Amazon EC2 instance, you could just throw a whole bunch of money and it will just keep on getting faster and faster, right? I mean, what they showed us was doing what, like 6,000 TPS per second with 6 nodes, right? But I mean, to me, I'm not really looking at it from marketing of high-speed blockchain TPS per second. I'm looking at just token metrics, the team having a product, and it being a blockchain, right? They do plan to have a testnet demo public in a month, right? To show for the whole world, where anybody can download the dApp or on their phones and actually show the nodes scaling and all that stuff, right? So I think that would definitely make or break them, basically, right? I do plan to have an AMA with them, and I'll try to have them also have a demo on the AMA. Because I think that people do want to see, right? But there are basically two demos. There's the blockchain, then there's the IDE, the dApp you actually use to build on the blockchain. Does that answer your question? All right. We have somebody over here.
Thanks. It's a bit more personal question. So last year, 2017, was really a roller coaster year for you. So I would be interested to hear what was really the peak moment, and on the other hand, the low moment in 2017. Yeah.
My high and my low? The high was December, man. 100x, 50x in the same month. It was like a dream. The low in 2017. What? Banco? I mean, we're talking about from like personal or just from investments? Yeah, I mean the low. No, I mean, probably, besides being in Tokyo and realizing, hey, I want to get out of the crypto world, was probably around, I think, like July, August or so. No, it's not crypto. I mean, crypto, I was happy to be in crypto. It was just more from just work life, right? My boss, basically office politics, was trying to push me out of my sales job, and was basically making up reasons to basically give me impossible sales quotas so he could bring in somebody else that was basically his protege. And I heard this from the engineering team, because they're like, yeah, he's been trying to bring in this other sales engineer he loves, whatever, right? And I had to fight that all the way to like the VP of HR, right? But as you guys know, I'm a fighter, right? And I fought it all the way, and ever since then, he didn't touch me. But he was basically trying to bring in his buddy and was basically just fabricating stuff, right, to make me look bad, right? And I knew that wasn't the way because I had other sales managers in IBM that had told me that's wrong, right? They're basically my mentors. I basically took whatever he was saying, asked my managers from other roles in IBM. I was like, is this normal to do? And they're like, no, it's not. Go to HR, right? So that was a low. That's also when I really wanted to get out, right? Because as much as I loved making money, because I was making a killing. Last year in IBM, I made almost $500,000, mainly from just sales commissions, right? So it's kind of like I had this high of just banking, but I could not really stand being in that work environment. It was just too stressful. Like it was just making me sick with the stress in there, right? Because it was cutthroat. I mean, it's sales, and I was like, I want to still make a bunch of money, but how's something we just roll in, no stress, right? Ironically, I got into crypto, where it's up and down as well, right? But I think just being able to have financial independence kind of has solved that, right? But I would say the stress of being in a corporate job where you like the money, but the office politics were not really the best environment to be in long term, right? Because I told myself being more than a year in this would just make me a bad human. Good question, though.
I have 3 questions. Are you... Okay. Then this one is... any way to get into your Patreon? No, it's filled up.
Unfortunately not. I mean, it's been sold out for a while. I would love to do this, but one of the things about the Patreon is it's a very small family type setting, which makes it more intimate and can really do more. And then we already have a problem where we have too much money. You can ask Willem. We have too much money, right? In the Patreon, right? I mean, to a point now, our stuff is starting. We now have gas wars, right? So money is not the issue. So adding more would just make it even worse, right? But I would love to see if I could solve that problem where we could just scale and have a whole bunch of people in there. But I don't know how to solve that, right? And actually, eventually, I do plan to stop the Patreon, right? But probably by the end of the year, or even prior to that, it will be gone, right? Because I'm going to be doing other kinds of business ventures, right? But you can always form your own Patreon or your own group with people you meet here, right? That's why we'll have the private Telegram group, right? So you can make all kinds of friends in person in crypto, and whatever you want to do together, you could do together.
What do you think about Solana and Starkware?
Yes, so kind of the same thing with Phantom. I know they began their pre-sale, but they're not launching till next year, the mainnet, right? So to me, they have no prototype. So that's going back to what somebody said, right? How do you find good projects post ICO? That's a strategy I could definitely see working, right? Let's say you like Phantom and Solana, right? But they have the ICO now when they don't really have a product. Buy it on exchanges when it comes out, and just kind of not financial advice, right? But look at it when it comes out and see if it's good, right? Because now they have a prototype, right? But they didn't have one when they launched, right? So those are projects where I would do that kind of strategy. But for me personally, right now, I'm not gonna put my money in.
What do you think about Neon Exchange? And yeah. And second question: do you think QuarkChain will do 100x?
Not this year. Next year, yes, in my opinion, for QuarkChain. Now for next, I mean, I was initially bullish on it, but I made changes to my grading system, and now I'm not bullish on it now. Right? That's not to say we won't do well, but I'm not gonna. Is what? No, even prior to that, I just heavily weigh blockchains now more. All right, so if something's not a blockchain, they lose more points. Because I think that's the value is really in infrastructure projects and blockchains. I know there have been a few exchanges that have done well, but for me personally, I think I'd rather take my chances on blockchains. Yeah, like on ontology? Well, I'll tell you the real secret on ontology. Nobody has talked about. They had market makers. That's why they did a 20x in a bear market, or 30x. They had market making, they had bots. That's why.
Can you share some of your exit strategy? So let's say, can you share some of your exit strategy? So let's say the project does 10x, you sell your investments, or 50%, or how does that work for you? Or do you have any selling points?
All right, so how do I exit? How long do we have this room for? Until 9 p.m. Okay, all right. All right, we may have to wrap up. So let's do this. I have one other question from somebody who asked earlier. What's the question again? Exit strategy. I mean, so when I invest in something, it's always been start taking profits at 3x. Right? So if I put 1,000 into a project, into an ICO, and it does a 3x, right? 1,000 turns to 3,000. I take out my initial investment to basically know that I'm not going to take an L. I won't lose money on it. It's basically free money, house money after that. Right? So I take out that 1,000 after it's going to 3,000 or more, and I reinvest it into a new ICO. Then after that, it basically depends, right? For me, what I do is I just come back to it and keep taking profits whenever I want to reinvest into a new ICO. Right? So for example, PundiX, right? It was below ICO price, so I was waiting for a while. I was holding for a while. Well, I was really holding because I couldn't sell because I had too much, and the volume on a daily basis was too low to sell. Right? Plus, I knew an exchange was coming, right? So I was holding that, and then it went to like what, 3, 4, 5x. Took my initial investment quickly, right? Because you never know, it could pump and go back to 0, right? So I took it out quickly and put that into, I think, Interchain or something, because I put in initially 150 grand into PundiX. So I flipped that and put that into Interchain. Then it kept on going to what, 10x, came back, took more out, put that into QuarkChain and some other project, right? Went to 20x, came back, took that out, put that into the Interchain and some other projects, right? And when I would come back, I was taking probably about 20% off each time, right? So basically 1 to 3x, take out an initial, from 3 to like 10x, I would sell like 20% or so. From 10 to like 20x, I would sell 20% of that, right? I never sell everything. If it's going up, I never sell everything. If it's going down, I sell everything, right? Well, that's kind of my strategy. I mean, people have different kinds of strategies, right? So just experiment what works with you. But for me, it's been more of just kind of holding, letting it go up, and taking profits when you need them to reinvest, right? So that's kind of what I do. Then the last question I would talk to, somebody who came early said, I think in the back, right? You are becoming an advisor, and you want to close the deal, right? So how do you? What? Okay, and you want me to?
So I've been a tech journalist for 30 years, and I'm switching to crypto. That's why I'm here. And I'm going to go see a company in Slovenia next week. And I want to learn more about them because I met him at a conference here in Berlin. And when we were talking, the lady said, do you want to talk about an advisor? And it was like, that came out of left field. And so make the most of the moment, right? So any tips, anything? You know, I've been a journalist, which means I'm not a great businessman. So.
All right, good question. I get this question a lot, right? So I'll just kind of share my experience. It's always good when they come to you first. That means they see value in your background and your experience, what you do. Right? Kind of like with me, Phantasma wanted to reach out to me to kind of just discuss the role. And really, you just got to tell them the value you would bring and show them how you help them either make more money or save more money, right? So for example, like with a project like Phantasma or any other project, right? They know, like they have what? They only raised $10 million, right? And they know that by, oh actually I told them, they wanted me to be on board, but I told them, okay, that's good, but you guys are spending what, $2 million on advertising, marketing, whatever, trying to build awareness. I mean, I can help you save that money because I already have a big platform, right? Just by having me behind, being on the team, being with the company, right? It's just gonna, through word of mouth, get you guys more awareness, right? So I told them, I mean, you're spending what, $2 million on marketing? You can save that and put that into development, right? You can spend only what, you could probably spend zero on marketing, right? Just put that into the actual product itself, right? Like just by me being on the website will just organically spread and help you guys get the awareness you need, right? Or just showing them how you can bring value in other ways. For example, we've been traveling the world, right, on a weekly basis, trying to find the best blockchain projects in the world. We'll go to any corner of the world. We've done 2 months in Asia, a month in South America. We're now doing 3 months here in Europe, right? We'll do a month in Middle East, a month in Africa, right? So we'll go anywhere. And we tell them everywhere we go, we're meeting all the best companies. We're building in-person relationships, right? And anybody can have money. Not everybody can have relationships, right? So for example, if you want to do anything with any other project, for example, I can help you get that done, right? I mean, I know most founders at any big ICO, right? For example, back when I was still working with Kyber, with Go Network, right? I got both CEOs to start a partnership, right? Because I knew Loilu from Kyber and I knew Go Network. Just pick up the phone, right? You want to do something with him? I'll make it happen, right? Oh, hey, you guys are trying to get onto some exchanges. I was in Korea for 2 weeks. I know Corbett, had dinner with them, had wine with them, or I know this other company or project or this other whatever, right? I can help you make that happen. Kind of like being a partner and bringing those relationships and helping them leverage that. So going back to what I was saying earlier, just either help them make money, help them save money, and bring value from your contacts and relationships, right? So working in journalism, you probably have lots of different things they want to do, right? Maybe you know somebody at the New York Times, and you can help them get mentioned in there, right? Or whatever they want to do. Does that help? Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Berlin. Woo! Woo, man. That was like a 3-hour live stream. All right, Chris, come back here. Let's give Chris and MMCrypto a big round of applause for hosting and sponsoring this event.
And guys, if you want to check out the mmcrypto.io, definitely check it out, every one of you. We will track it. So we need 200 visits today.
Yeah, so MMCrypto is basically
It's not an ICO. It looks like an ICO, but it's not an ICO.
He's basically the Ian Balina of Germany. Ooh! Right, and the team. All right, so if you go on the site, they also have their own spreadsheet, right, doing ICO reviews. They have a YouTube channel, and it's in both English and German.
Yeah, Telegram, German, English, Telegram alerts channel, and free spreadsheet. No competition to him because it's different approaches. So always, do your own research. You always say that it's not just a meme or so. It really, you really mean it.
And he definitely brings lots and lots of value. I mean, this guy was also pre-ICO Wabi, so you know he's official. I mean, he's definitely doing his homework if he's in that early. All right, so once again, thank you so much for hosting us here.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
So now it's 100x?
No. Now we do have a special surprise. Drew,
So,
come on stage.
So
How to rap in the building.
And It's for our special guests. You analyze it. The song now. Cool Savage in the back.
Yo, what's up, Germany? What's going on, Berlin? All right, so I know we've been sitting down. We've been in sort of thought mode. So what I want us all to do before we go out, we network, get some food, is I want us all to stand up. All right, so everybody get up, loosen up. We're going to do one of our newest theme songs. It's called 100X, and it's all for you, for motivation. You can get it on our SoundCloud at Ian Balina. And it's called 100X, so let's loosen up a little bit. I'm gonna come down with the crowd. 100X. Let's get as loud as we can. Mark it up, mark it down. No matter what, I'm still around. Mood is up, sun is down. 100X, I got it now. Mark it up, mark it down. No matter what, I'm still around. Mood is up, sun is down. 100X, I got it now. 100X, 100X, 100X. 100X, what is up? Sun is down. 100X, I got it now. Yeah, Berlin, give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are amazing. 100X, I hope everybody in this room gets 100X. Thank you. Thank you to Ian, thank you to MM-Crypto. Now let's all network and get our 100Xs together, and let's get it going for the night. Thank you so much.
Berlin was amazing. Here with Crypto Family Flow, all the way from California, in the house.
Want to come visit, of course.
Right? I mean, great turnout. One of the best parts was when somebody gave me this ring that says "to the moon." I mean, that's amazing. You know? Kiss the ring, to the moon.
Mark it up, mark it down. No matter what, I'm still around. Mood is up, sun is down. 100X, I got it now. Yeah. Took me a moment to decode the data. Spreading the sheet, I'm unloading the paper. ICO know that they owe me a favor. Say what you see, I got no indicator. Load up your team with the dopest of players. One more review saying no, see you later. And that's how my growth is so major. Yeah.